Welcome in to week 2, baby. We are live on Gran Turismo 7, week 2 of the Night Run Summer Series. Got a good one lined up for us here. We already are in the lobby. We have some folks in here. Let's take a peek and see who we've got already lining up. Well, let's go to a different view, actually. Let's go big screen, shall we? We've got, let's go back in the main menu here. We've got CBD. We've got Moose, Skeletor, Stratos, and Kosian. We still have 10 more minutes, 11 more minutes till the races, till the qualifying starts. So we'll probably see a couple more trickle in here as the stream goes on. We're having a little bit of issues with our commentator, that is JJ Norms. He will be back with us here shortly. He just left the Discord chat, but he will be back to help commentate. Hopefully he's able to get into the race. He's been having trouble getting into the lobby, but so far, so good. Is it first come, first serve in lobby? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If someone was here last week, they get priority, but right now we have space. We have about 7 spaces, 8 spaces available. So if you want to hop in, you're welcome to. Welcome in, everybody. Stratos, what's up, baby? How you doing? How you doing? Let's go, Goblin. Get up in this bad boy. JJ, is that you?
Yes, it is.
JJ, we're just explaining to them you're having a bit of some technical difficulties with...
I'm being ruined by Polyphony Digital.
Polyphony has a vendetta. You heard it here first, folks. A vendetta against JJ.
They're worried I'm going to take Jimmy Broadbent's job. They don't want that. They're like, he's a big boy. So I must keep...
Yes.
But
should be good. Well, I let everybody know that qualification will begin on the hour, so in about 9 minutes is when we're going to get started. Let's take a look and see who's on the track and what we're looking at here. I've got Skeletor pulled up here. Hang on, let's pull up the details here. The race info only here. It's like the Porsche is going to be the popular one.
Porsche 919 would be the popular one. It's one of the better cars in Group 1. Four-wheel drive, very consistent, very good on the regen, very good on the power out, on the hybrid output. The big brains, I would say, admins will be very important on the X's of the 3 chicanes, as well as on the X of the 2 and parallel. Those are very important points.
Yeah.
Every corner's on this track, to say the least. Yeah. Should be a good race.
Yeah, it looks like
12 laps.
Yep, 12 laps. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, about 12 laps. I ran these races about 2 weeks ago in the lobby just to make sure everything was competitive enough. So strategy is definitely going to come into play here, especially with all the tire changes, as these players need to change the tires. They need to do 2 changes, so you can start on one and have to change twice because all 3 compounds are required for this race.
Yeah, no, exactly. Two different pit stops required, but it pretty much means that hards will be non-existent in this one. There's going to be when you decide to take that extra stop, because guess what, the mediums and the softs will probably be able to cover the whole race. It's only 20 minutes, even at the 8 times tire, I think it's at something ridiculous.
So that's for the next race. This race at Monza is going to be 6 times tire wear and 2 times fuel consumption. And all 3 compounds are mandatory for this race. So we're going to see how many laps they're going to do on hards, maybe 1 or 2 before they switch to the mediums and run as long as they can. Because with it also kind of depends, because 6 times tire wear doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you're in these Group 1 cars, it could definitely take a toll at these chicanes with the braking.
Yeah, but that's where the advantage of, let's say, a 4-wheel drive car versus a 4-wheel drive car will come into play. It's going to be depending on how you want to get Albert has been saying. That looks like there's a lot of the actual LMP1, LMPH cars being chosen here by the field. Interesting that no one's gone for a McLaren VGT or something like that. A rear-wheel drive car could really save those front tires, and actually might be able to get you a couple of extra laps on the softs, which would be really interesting to see. Yeah, everyone going for, it's like CBD actually going for the good old 908. which is a real change up. Been saying that that car's very quick on the line, so no surprises that it's been picked here, to say the least.
Okay, and thank you, CBD, for letting me know that JJ's volume was a bit low. I just raised his volume up quite a bit. Let me know if that's any better for you guys, but JJ's coming in from New Zealand, so we're on almost opposite sides of the globe at this point. Coming together for an online race. Isn't this it's just pretty crazy to think that maybe, 15 years ago, this wouldn't even been possible.
Would have been, it just would have been very, very laggy, to say the least.
That's fair, yeah. The amount of cars, the desync would be incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And also, especially with these kinds of cars, it would be undrivable just because of the speed that these cars travel at, getting up towards 200 mile an hour. Is very, very unsurprisingly, but have got the first chicane, so doing speed only about 160 kilometers an hour. Top speed is being approached into chicane 1. Yeah, it should be a good race. Should be looking forward to this one. I was just trying to decide, do I keep trying to defend my points, but I think Polyphony's decided that for me, so...
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to see where it goes from there, for sure.
But yeah, might have to default to the old screen share, unfortunately, so... But that's the way it works sometimes, because Polyphony...
Yep.
For some reason decided to go, no, you shall not join. But yeah, fun times.
Can I go on my Discord and just raise your volume that way too? I think that's probably going to help. Here we go. There we go. All right, got that sorted. Give me some audio levels real quick. Just say something.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, it's perfect. You're good.
Be better.
That's much better.
I've just yeah, I realized that it was using the wrong output because I got about 4 different outputs plugged in.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
So it was going through because I got the way I've got it set up is. So yeah, picked the wrong one as the microphone input, but that should be a lot better for everyone involved.
Yes, yes. Welcome in, Tom. Welcome in. Are you going to be able to join the race with us today? If not, appreciate you hopping in the stream. As more and more people are rolling in here, we now have a lobby of 8 drivers. We have Kosian, we have Pac-Man, we have Goblin, Stratos, Skeletor, Yesterday, Moose, and CBD. Should be quite the race here, boys. I'm really excited. We have a little bit of a variety of drivers, some A+, A's, B's, and a couple C's. Some of us have an SR that dropped down to a B, that's Stratos, but I'm going to go over just some tips on keeping the race conservative and fun rather than pushing harder and wrecking it for everybody, because we don't want to see that, especially in the night run race. Well, so it looks like JJ will be back with us here shortly. He's maybe resetting his internet again, trying to connect into the lobby. But hopefully that will be not too long here. I will just give me a minute. Sure. We got 2 minutes till. Let me let everybody know. 2 minutes till qualification starts, and then we're gonna get cracking on that. So let's go back into full screen mode here. Goblin with Group 1 Tomahawk. I didn't realize that was even in there. But BOP, or Balance of Power, is on. Thank heavens. For BOP. Not NOP, BOP. Whoop. Race should be starting here shortly. We have 1 more minute till we start. Let's take a peek. We have Moose. I think just about everybody is in a Porsche except for... Oh, hang on. Except for Goblin here. He's in the Tomahawk of all cars for this. I wonder if it has the same effects in braking. It does not have a similar effect in braking as the street car Tomahawk. And Eton pulls in at the last minute into this race here. JJ is suffering from some connection issues. There we go. All right, unfortunately, JJ will miss this race. Hopefully, we can get him into the next one. As for now, it'll be me commentating on my own. We'll see how this goes. But don't forget, we're doing this for charity. As you can see on your screen, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is our goal to hit $1,000 by the end of the month. We are already at 30% of that goal. We'd love to see a bit more. And if you guys have the means, even if it's a small amount, we'd love to see you throw it in there and help those who need help. JJ, how you feeling?
I'm feeling like I can't get into a lobby, and it's annoying me.
I think annoyed is a bit of an understatement.
Yeah. It's if I knew what was causing the issue, I would. But yeah, it's like I joined last week. There was no issue last week, so I don't know what. I mean, you said you changed to a wide connection, but I don't know why that would cause me any issues.
I don't know why either, but that's the only difference on my side happened. So if anything, it should have improved it. So
yeah. So anyway, worst case scenario, we open up the share screen in Discord and we go from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to watch this from afar, but that is the unfortunate way of polyphony. This is
the way of PD. We've seen this time and time again, unfortunately. But over time, the lobbies are definitely better than what they used to be, but still a long way from where they should be.
Yeah, as we see them get underway with qualifying here. But anyway, Monza, it is a 11-turn circuit. We are running the chicane, so it is all 11 turns. Starting off as a rundown into the first chicane, it will be before they head up towards the second chicane. These are probably your 2 best overtaking spots, just with the big braking zones and the long runs on the way in, especially at these cars with high speeds. They get out of the corners very quickly before you head down towards the Lesmos at the top of the boot, you could say, being turns 6 and 7. Then you go down the back straight, the Curva del Seriglio. There we go. Didn't butcher anything before you head down to Ascari. Very famous left, right, left chicane. Very easy to get it wrong here, especially if you decide to go right the curves before you run down towards Parabolica. Probably the most important corner on the track to get right, just because it sets you up for the main straight. So yeah, very, very, very technical track for one that's so high speed, to say the least.
Absolutely, and just a quick message out to chat. This is a race that is 20 minutes long. We're looking at all 3 tire compounds are required for this race, with 6 times tire wear, 2 times fuel consumption. And thank you for the follow, Velo DJ. Welcome in. Thank you for that follow. And everyone, Beast, there is still a chance to join after qualification. So if you would like to join the race, go ahead and jump in the lobby as soon as you can. This is qualification. Unfortunately, we'll start from likely the back, as these guys will be finishing their races during qualification. So if you can sneak in there. And thank you, Bugs, for throwing up the donation link. There is a donation link as well as an option to buy a once-in-a-lifetime 2023 Night Run Summer Series shirt or sweater. That is also available from Ink to the People. And keep in mind that the profits from that, they all also go to AFSP. So definitely appreciate any support that we can get to those who are in need. And if you have any issues and would like to reach out to AFSP please visit their website and find out more about what we can do to get that set. You know, JJ, that's a good idea. I'll go ahead and connect to that and just mute my mic so you can view my screen. I'll do a share play with you.
I thought this would be the play. It was either that or the Discord share screen. So, I mean, I'm here to commentate. That's what you asked me to come do originally. Might as well do it.
Yep, I'll screen share there. There we go. And there we are.
And there we go.
Don't have a lot of qualification laps in yet. Looks like we haven't had anybody set a time yet.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 qualification laps is probably most likely, because with these laps only being about 100 seconds, and you do have to try and find a spot in your outlap. If you are quick, you might be able to sneak one in. But anyway, Goblin going to the top of the 139.3. And you can see what people can respond with that one. Skeletor goes a second quicker. There we go. The challenge has been laid down. But Goblin running the Viper, or the SRT VGT, which is really interesting. E-Time goes faster with a 137 flat. Here we go. Now we're starting to live up with qualifying. Yesterday with 141. Moose with a 35.5.
Yeah, Moose with a solid time there, about a second and a half faster than second place E-Tom. And again, those Porsches already showing their strength.
Yeah, 4 seconds up on CBD, which is the really interesting one. CBD probably one of the favorites heading into this round, being the HRA Academy driver. Yeah, definitely looking like he's been saying that he is in the Peugeot. Maybe that's got a bit more race pace, able to make that soft last an extra lap or two. So who knows, that could play back into his advantage. But in saying that, very much off the pace there. What's he got through Sector 1? He's up 1.1 seconds, so he very well could be on a good lap here. He might have had a mistake, he might have had traffic on that first flyer, had to back off, but yeah.
And I think he has a lot of practice into this one. I think he's definitely coming into this a bit fresh and unsure of the grip on these Group 1s, as he was practicing in other cars just earlier.
Yeah, well, he's definitely had a lobby up before, running around doing some laps of Stratos I saw, and yeah, doing some very fast times from what I understand, but he's 3.3 up, coming through the second split. So you get the first of the cars coming across the line now. Skeletor with a 36.7. That's going to put him P2 for the moment being. E-Tom, he goes to 36.1. He takes that P2 straight back, but still no one can topple Moose. No one can topple the Moose. Couple of 40s coming from Pac-Man, Koshin, and you stay with the 36.7. What's CBD got?
CBD's about to end with a 35.4, taking the top spot by 0.159.
Yeah, 1.6 tenths effectively over Moose. Moose will be annoyed they didn't do that final lap, because guess what? That was a quick one from CBD, but it is an all-American front row. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. There's only one non-American currently in the lobby, being E-Tom. So yeah, but that is a great lap from CBD to steal it off Moose at the death there. Yep.
Still 1 minute left, just about 1 minute left in qualification, as I believe someone is still running. I'm trying to figure out who it is, because
I think it's Moose in the pits is holding everyone hostage.
Yes. Well, you could still get into the race, Uber, if you'd like to join. You just won't be able to qualify at this point. Fate, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome in. Happy to have everyone here. Should prove pretty entertaining, this race. The top 3 split is, they're pretty close, and that I mean, the top 2 are within almost within a tenth of a second apart. So that's going to be
barely a tenth of a second apart between these 2.
So between them, it's really going to come down to how they pit, because all 3 compounds are required for this race.
Yeah. Well, also E-Tom, the C-rated driver, putting it up in P3, only half a second back. So that's a very good lap from him. I'd be almost concerned if I'm the front 2, because the fact that it's a C-rated driver, so somehow C-rated driver, and it's shown some pace here, sort of splitting perfectly between the top 2 and the rest of the field, with almost half a second either side. So it's going to be an interesting one here. And now Uber joining from the back of the field. Expect him to do something a bit wacky starting from the back. Expect him to maybe start on the hard and get off it straight away, because you can definitely do effectively a one stop between the mediums and the softs, but of course the hard is required.
Yep. And just waiting on Uber to enter so we can start the race, and then we'll get.
You've got to set host by grid.
What?
You've got to reset. You've got to cancel the race and then set the host by grid. So let me just
okay. So
quickly just copy that so we know what the grid order is. So yeah. So yeah. But yeah, very close between the field. In fact, effectively the top 5 within just over a second. So that's going to be an interesting couple of very interesting battles. Only 13 thousandths between yesterday and Skeletor for that P4 slot. So that's going to be a very interesting battle. Both of them in the 919. Only 2 cars. I'm sorry, 3 cars at 4. Never mind.
Do you have the order or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the race. And then we're going to have to change it. Race events, right? Because I don't want to get rid of the qualifier at this point.
Yep. And you want to go set grid by host.
Yep. I'll be doing that. Oh, wait. How do I do that? Where's the...
Down...
grid orders by host. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still connecting somebody. Just a minute here. Apologize for the delay, y'all. Thank you. This is only our second week. You'd think we'd have it down by now, but we are still filling in.
If you had it down by now, I'd be in there. But no, polyphony. A year on. All right, so everyone's just got to tick in and
starting grid.
The grid.
Yep. Once everyone ticks in, we'll start the grid. I believe it was CBD at the top, followed by Moose.
Yep.
And E-Tom, and then Skeletor. Yeah, I'll wait until everyone's in, and then we'll get the party started.
Yeah, you were close. It's yesterday is currently sitting in P4.
Oh, interesting. That was a good run from yesterday.
Yep. 13 thousandths quicker than Skeletor to steal it, so might have got a little bit of a toe.
Yeah.
A little sneaky toe.
Oh, yesterday has to jump out, he says. Oh, no. That's unfortunate yesterday. Well, we'll hopefully can catch you in the next race if you're available then.
Oof. Interesting. 30 seconds delay puts him out, but that's unfortunate. Things happen, to say the least. Real life does take priority at times. Anyway, so your starting grid for this one is gonna be CBD, followed by Moose.
Followed by
E-Tom.
Followed by
Skeletor now. He gets a promotion up one spot. And then it is Stratos.
And then after Stratos...
Actually, I think just take Uber to the bottom. And then swap Koshin up.
For the follow.
There we go.
There we go.
Loveser, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. We have the starting grid here. We have CBD up top, followed by Moose, E-Tom, Skeletor, Stratos, Goblin, Kosian, Pac-Man, and Uber. We're going to go ahead and start that grid there, and we are starting here.
Oh, hold on. Yesterday's just entered in.
Oh, did he?
Yesterday's just entered in, so he's going to
He says all good. Wow, that was really close.
That was very lucky. He's going to slide all the way up into P4, so that's going to change. That's going to annoy Skeletor. He thought he had a cheeky little promotion there, but unfortunately he is not.
And we are starting. Here we go. First race of the night, third in the series. Monza, 20-minute race, Group 1, 6 times tire wear, 2 times fuel consumption, and all compounds are required. This definitely be an interesting start.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what everyone's on. That's going to be the real interesting thing, I think, for this one. But anyway, waiting on... Still haven't got a false check start here. But Anyway, they're underway, heading towards the first chicane. It's a great start by, I think it's Goblin in the back in the VGT bit, and saying that Etam's got this launch in the lot
Oh,
somehow,
yesterday
apparently.
with a little bit of contact, we knew there was going to be some contact, but my goodness.
That is a very interesting start.
Unfortunately, there will definitely be some penalties given out post-race as well.
Hackman's picked up a 5-second.
And that will be reviewed as well, because sometimes, as we know in this game, if you're hitting into somebody else, you receive the penalty and no one else does. So this will definitely have to be reviewed in the late stream later tonight to see.
It's going to be, and we got more chaos at the second chicane here as well, as we see drivers going off. These cars very fast, very easy to make a slight mistake. And CBD's gone from pole to 10th.
And up to 9th already.
And he's recovering back up now. He should show his speed. But Uber's gone from 10th to 2nd. What is going on? Koshin's off at the Lesmos. Further forward in the field, looks like there's a bit of battling further up. But yeah, this has been an interesting start, to say the least.
And Etam all the way up front. Let's go take a look at Etam and see how he's running. He's looking very comfortable in the 919.
Yeah, but he's got Uber all over the back of him. Uber, one of the fast drivers in the field, and he's just picked up a 2nd. He's made a mistake through Ascari, so that's going to allow Uber past next lap. And saying that, Uber pulling alongside down to Parabolica, and he's going to look up the inside, unable to make a move or anything. Some very interesting lag, I think, all round at the moment. And that's Uber in. He started on the hard, which I'm not surprised to see, but yeah. Interesting that, so did Moose. In fact, a lot of drivers starting on the hard, just getting that tire out of the way. Interesting to see if they go to the mediums or the softs here.
It's like we moved to medium.
Out. What's he got? He's got mediums. Or straightos of what Moose got as well. Both of them on the medium compound. So, and Koshin's coming in off the medium, which is even more interesting.
Very interesting. Maybe he's playing the long game to see how long he can get the hards to last. Yeah, but
the interesting thing is that medium compounded tire is effectively the same as the soft. So I don't know. Based on this game, the softs and the mediums are very similar in pace and very similar in wear. So it's very interesting to see the medium being swapped off so early. This is definitely an interesting strategy call. Whether it's the right one is another question. But anyway, Etam, he's out the front. He's got 6.5 second lead over Goblin at this stage, but he's on the soft tire and he hasn't boxed yet at all. And he looks like he's struggling a little bit with the car just through the corners.
He's burning through all that battery as well.
Yeah, battery will go up and down. It's pretty much after the first lap, you're going to be fairly consistent in your battery, just in terms of how it's used. 919 definitely gets the bigger juice, and you'll see a lot more of the recharge coming in down towards the two chicanes as the two big braking zones on this lap. But yeah, Goblin, he's got it on the softs. He's in the VGT. Definitely very much a change up from the rest of the field, but his CBD is only 7 seconds off the lead roughly. Actually just under 8 seconds off the lead now as I do actual math, which is really interesting to see.
We have more
CBD
pitting
coming straight back at him.
More pitting. Uber switching to the softs as well as Moose.
They're going to get, this is bold, 10 laps on the soft tire is what they're going to go for here. So it looks like maybe that was the strat. Start on the medium, get a good launch for Koshin, and then jump off. In fact, Koshin's got Moose here. Been saying that Moose has taken both his stops. So Koshin's
but Koshin, unfortunately, with a bad exit there.
Yeah, clips the inside curb at the second part of the first chicane, and then just unfortunately runs off wide into the gravel trap. And very bold choice though, picking one of the Group C cars. Very good top end, but you got to be able to get that top end, so that's why it's more commonly used at Monza, not necessarily Monza, but at Le Mans. But yeah, there's a bit of a scrap up here for P5.
And P4 even.
Yeah. P4, yes, P4 actually further up. But yeah, currently Stratos and Skeletal going side by side. Uber's the odd one out of this lot. He's taken both his stops already, and he's somehow gained a 12-second gap on Moose, which is really good. And that gap's going to continue to climb. So Uber might be in the spot here. It'd be interesting to see what CBD's on for a tyre compound. Anyway, Uber going to try and go around
Skeletor
the
not
outside
giving him
here.
a lot of space either.
Skeletor giving him that required car width.
Just enough.
Oh, look at that, just speeding around the outside of Uber, carrying the speed on the outside line. He says, thank you very much, we'll claim this P6. And now he's going to get past Stratos and Pac-Man, which is going to be I think he's going to make quick work because Stratos is already losing a lot of time, 2/10. And Uber has sent it up the inside, gets it parked perfectly on the apex, and that is a classy move there, up into P5 now. 24.6 off the lead in closing for the most part, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how quickly you can get up to Pac-Man and dispatch him. But yeah, the battle will be between CBD and Uber. Interesting to see how much time Uber's going to be able to gain on CBD and vice versa, and that's great exit out of the second chicane there for Uber, and Pac-Man's just standing still effectively in the non-hybridized class Group C car there. Just unable to be able to get the acceleration off the second chicane, and Uber's just gone straight past. Now he's up into P4. Gap between him and CBD is 15 seconds. I don't think CBD's boxed at all yet, so that's going to make it even more interesting, to say the least.
True. Definitely the boxing. It's going to be, very divisive in their overall time to see. Also, this is a pretty easy track to not get a penalty on entry or exit of the pit, but we might see one, but I doubt it. I think we saw one in qualifying, but that was just happenstance.
Yeah, it's very easy to get it on the. It's easy to get it on the way in than on the way out. On the way out, you're just sort of holding your line on pretty much a straight line because the racing line is on the other side of the track. And in saying that, if you do end up with cars trying to have a scrap ahead of you, you might have to take some avoiding action, and you can pick up a penalty that way. But yeah, Skeletor, that was not the right time to go on board with Skeletor as he gets that very twitchy out of the first chicane on the medium tire, so he's just stopped as well, I believe, which is interesting. Either somehow we've got no tire wear on, or he's just stopped and taken the medium. In fact, he had a 49 last lap. No, he didn't stop last lap. So
it is on ×6. I'm not sure if this is a glitch within Polyphony, but this happened during testing as well 2 weeks ago. So maybe that's just how these cars are. They're just phenomenal on tires.
Hence why we have seen Moose and CBD box. So to grab that fresh soft tire, and it's just going to last by the looks of it. Look at that, Moose on lap number 3 here of his stint. And he's absolutely cruising at the moment for tyre wear. So it looks like it could be 13 laps at this stage. Everyone running, the leaders are running mid to low 34s. Sorry, the high 34s for Uber, but everyone else running about 35, 36s. So yeah, I think we might see an extension of the series lead for this one in terms of the points table. Actually, no, that was actually guaranteed because I don't think half the drivers are in from the previous week. Yeah, there's only 3 drivers in the lobby from last week at this point. Thanks, Polyphony. But yeah, it looks like we might see a series lead here for increase for Uber. The Maltese driver wasn't going to do this, shows up. He's leading by 16 points heading into this race, and now he's somehow started from the back and is currently the favorite to win. Been saying that Etam, CBD, Goblin all ahead of him in that 3 podium positions, so who knows?
It'd be interesting to see what CBE does for the rest of the race. I mean, let's see what tire wear he's on. He's on softs, and look at that tire wear. He's definitely seeing a lot more than the others.
Yeah, he's definitely chewing it up. I believe the 908 is rear-wheel drive, so that's not surprising to see. Just because of the fact it's very easy to get a little bit of twitch and a little bit of slide on. But yeah, he's got to make sure he makes his tire last for at least another 5 or so laps, because I think this one's going to go down to 13 laps, and it's going to go down to the wire. Saying that he's in.
He's pitting.
that might be the race gone there for CBD, because I think you needed to at least go for another 7-8 laps minimum.
I think maybe he
try
just
and
doesn't
extend the
trust the
soft stint out.
tires.
Yeah, he doesn't trust the rears. What's he gone? He's gone to the hard, so expect another stop this lap. Uber goes through into the hypothetical lead. So I think he's within, yeah, he's easily within the 2 stop of Goblin and Etam, who are both yet to box. So that Stratos is in.
Stratos is it?
Yeah, Stratos in. One probably onto the hard, do a lap, come straight back in. No, onto the soft. So softs to the. I don't think. Oh, Stratos actually might have come. Well, might have boxed straight away.
He did box. Yes, he did box straight away.
Yeah, so he's already used the hard tire. So that's his final stop. So he reckons he can get 9.5-ish minutes on this soft tire quite comfortably, considering the mediums lasted that long as well.
Oh, unfortunate for Pac-Man. He's trying to keep the car on the track. Struggling here with this. This is the Nissan GTR Group 1?
Now this is the Group C 9 RS9C2P. Can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, RCP, it's the Group C prototype. Very bold choice, probably not the one I would have gone for. I think the braking zones mean that a hybrid system is a must. Whether you go for the modern 919 like a lot of the field has gone for, it's the preferred car in dailies anyway, or if you go for a more bold choice like a McLaren VGT or the Peugeot VGT as well, the L750R, that's probably a pretty good pickup as well for this one. But yeah, it's definitely a bold choice to go for the Group C car. I think someone else has gone for it too. The Group C, there's 2 Group Cs. There's a not old Peugeot. There is another Group C car running around somewhere.
Skeletor coming in for tires as well as CBD. CBD comes out and he leaves on mediums. Change out his hard for mediums.
Yeah, CBD coming in off the first stint on the softs, does the 1 lap around on the hards and straight onto the mediums. Pretty much as expected. Hards not really getting used. A lot of drivers taking their stops back to back as well. Interesting though is that Uber's up into P3. I'm curious what his tires are like, because remember, this is lap number 7 on this stint for Uber. And look at
They're
that.
Not that bad.
Tire wear is good to go to the end. Not even a quarter worn at this stage. So yeah, very, very, very good conservating from Uber. And he knows that he doesn't have to try and push too hard to get past Goblin. So on a different strategy to him, I don't think Goblin's taken a stop yet. So in the VGT, that's another naturally aspirated, I say naturally aspirated, probably turboed VGT in the form of the Dodge, which I think is quite a bold call to say the least.
Uber taking the inside line here, see if he can get in the slip, take him on this.
Yeah, much tighter line, much better exit, uses the hybrid system.
But Goblin's still holding his place there, and now he's in second as Etam comes out of the pits.
Top end. Etam coming out of the pits off the soft tire now. But Etam is going to drop down to P3, and I think Etam's still got a stop to make. So yeah, Uber doesn't want to push too hard here, because if he pushes too hard, gets a mistake now, that's a penalty. So he doesn't want to try and do that and say that Goblin's had a poor exit out of the first chicane, and the hybridization is just going to say thank you very much. And he's going to slot up into the lead. And I think this is where we expect him to run away with it. Takes it nicely through his second chicane. And I think that might be your race run, folks. As Goblin makes a mistake, he's went from a 10th back to over a 2.5 back. On the soft tire, struggling. Struggling out of these low traction zones by the looks of it.
And that the VGT sounding a lot like like a rotary almost.
Yeah, naturally aspirated VGT here. Does sound glorious. Not quite rotary-like, doesn't quite get up to those high 11,000 plus RPMs that you would see from the 787 or the LM55 VGT, but still sounds amazing. But unfortunately, the hybridization of the electric motors just helps out massively in terms of the launch out of these corners. But yeah, as we see, Goblin coming in for his second stop. Interesting to box this early. Tires look pretty good. think Goblin's got to put it on the medium tire. Off the top of my head.
He's on hards? Maybe just a lap.
No, it must not have done. I thought I see the. I'm assuming Polyphony's annoyed me and decided to put a P next to him on lap 1, even though it's didn't box. So we'll be doing 2 stops here. Gets the braking zone wrong.
Definitely
get reset.
difficult going from those softs to hards.
Softs to hards, as well as misjudging the braking zone and coming out of the pit lane. Yeah, as we can see, these cars getting up to 170, 180 mile an hour. Not the top end that you'd expect from if they were at Monza with no chicane, or if they were at the Mulsanne Straits of Le Mans. I got there in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Moose looking like he might have a scrap for P2 here. Etam still to take the second of the 2 stops, which is interesting. Etam on the medium tire now, looking to try and just pull a gap, but he's got to stop and put on those hards.
I think he runs until this last lap. I think he's going to run it until to the very end.
Yeah, but the question is, when do you box? Because remember, this is not a lap-determined race. This is a time-based race.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, do you run what? How many more laps do you run? He's going to run 1 more. But the question is, does he risk it and run another lap to try and get that extra lap off the hards? We see yellow's ahead. I think that is someone big going. Oh no, it was Uber making a mistake. Is it?
It could have been.
No.
I think it could have been yesterday.
I think it's yesterday going a lap down. Yeah. Yesterday, unable to find any sort of pace in these Group 1s after what was a very impressive qualifying performance. Dropped all the way back down to P10. He'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, rough start for yesterday as well.
Yeah. Bring out the rainbow number 9 at Atlantis Motorsport Group. But yeah, it's very interesting to see Etam 9 seconds adrift, but that gap between Moose and Etam's the interesting one, and it's closing.
Slowly but surely, absolutely, it's closing, and it's going to be interesting to see with Etam, with his pit event when it eventually comes, how much time he's going to lose with that. Because I know the pits take some time, but I mean I think it's a 20-second pit, no?
I want to say so, but don't quote me on it. But
anywhere between 15 to 20.
I think it's going to be a lot tighter.
So he may lose his spot there.
I think he can go 1 more. He can go 1 more, I think.
He's going to go 1 more?
And does. He's got just enough time to sneak it. So this is where we find out he's actually done both his stops, and we look like a bunch of clowns. But saying that, he's got just enough time to sneak in 1 more lap on these medium tires. So we'll go 13 laps here. Someone else off the road down here. It is Koshin, I think. No, it was yesterday. So making a mistake. He's got the blue flag. Should get out of the way.
Oh, way out of the way. He went straight.
That's how you get out. That is how you get out of the way. You just get reset onto track. But yeah, you stay unable to get this braking zones right, which is really interesting considering he's normally not terrible at it. Anyway, Koshin looks like I saw Koshin going a lap down as well to Uber. Uber's flying at the moment. He's about to start his final lap. In fact, it looks like the lower half of the top 10 might not get to start a 13th lap here.
I think it's going to end here. I mean, we have just about 40 seconds left in this race.
40 seconds, definitely. And there you go. Pac-Man's going to come up. In fact, Catman's going to get out of the way and let Uber start his final lap. Goblin looks like he won't get 1 more in. He's a bit too far back. Neither will Skeletor or Stratos by the looks of it. And I think CBD might not get 1 either. Anyway, Etam should be in. Etam is in. Is he going to get back out in time? Where's Moose? This is the query. Where's Moose?
Oh,
Moose is going to go past easily. Moose starting that final lap. And Etam has just got to the start of that lap. CBD will be the first to finish, I think. Yeah, CBD first to finish, finishes 4th. He'll be annoyed, started on pole position. But yeah, very much got caught up in those first lap shenanigans.
Looks like 4th place is already finished. CBD takes 4th place,
Yes.
Skeletor in 5th, Stratos in 6th, Goblin in 7th, Pac-Man in 8th.
Koshin will probably take 9th, and
Yesterday in 10th.
oh, Uber might have caused some. Actually, in saying that, Uber might have caused some grief trying to pass cars as being on the lead lap, being the leader. So Pac-Man and Koshin might be having a little scrap here towards the end of this one. They're still on their final lap, so I don't think it's going to affect the results too much of the lead. There's a bit of a domination from Uber, taking advantage of the lap 1 shenanigans, getting on that hard tire, getting off that hard tire, getting on the medium, getting straight off the medium.
Oh, and being cheeky.
I think we can give a 10-second penalty for showboating. I think it's fair. Yeah, I think 10-second penalty for Uber for showboating. Poor sportsmanship. That's what they used against Lando Norris, isn't it? It's Pac-Man and Koshin comes across the line for 8th and 9th. Yesterday will take 10th. Moose takes 2nd. Etam will take the final spot on the podium.
Very unsportsmanlike conduct from Uber. They're definitely feeling himself, but probably not the best way to treat your comrades there in that race.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to claim that as a unsportsmanlike conduct 10-second penalty for Uber.
That's a rough one, but I mean, yeah, I think it's we're gonna have to review definitely the beginning of that race at minimum.
Yes, so save your replays, because guess what? I think this one might need a couple of different angles from a couple of different people, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely this race will be reviewed later tonight on
CBD. Very much. I think he's a little annoyed, to say the least.
I'd love to hear from CBD in the chat if he's available to see what happened there. But definitely, I mean, frustrating to say the least.
Yeah. You got that replay, eh?
Oh, let me grab it. Thank you. Let me grab it. My goodness, I do that all the time.
Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, Moose also leaving as well. So is Stratos. Is this a protest for terrible driving? How'd you get hit from the rear into everyone, Uber? You started last.
There is one more race. Yes, there's one more race.
There is another race. Yeah. So we got Group 4s at Grand Valley.
Load settings, race B. There we go. Make sure everything's good there. And here we go into race B for week 2.
Yes, race B, week 2, Grand Valley, Group 4 is going to be an interesting one. To say the least, one of our fictional tracks here in Gran Turismo.
Yeah, and a race, the qualification, we're going to start that at about 45 after, so people will have time to use the bathroom and whatnot.
Had a world-class start. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happened with CBD in that lap 1 on the very... I think we're going to have a very quick review, because I think if we actually dissected it, we're going to be here for a while, to say the least.
Yes. There's going to be, well, tonight on the stream tonight, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the race review to see before we give final positions. We're going to see.
Yeah, I think you might have to take a hot minute, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see if CBD and Moose and Stratos all come back for this one. Maybe they've just gone to change the oil on their Group 4 cars, just make sure it's all nice and fresh, because this is a very competitive series, to say the least.
Okay.
Group 4 going to be a bit more of an even playing field. Bop, everyone knows these cars, everyone drives these cars. Expect to see the likes of the 650S, not the GDR, I was not expecting that, I was expecting the other Nissan. Ooh, are we running reverse?
We are running short reverse.
Oh, this is gonna. I think we might have another interesting turn one here.
Absolutely, we will. And I'm gonna start typing up a message for everyone to read before
No,
we get into it.
they're all intelligent enough to know. I think we're just gonna have a very interesting turn one. To say the least, with the fact that it is sort of like a double apex left-hander, to say the least. See a little bit of lag from Uber as Stratos joins in. But yeah, double at full throttle as well. This is a very technical, very difficult corner to get right.
A little bit of latency there too. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cosine in the pits.
I feel like there's been a bit more lag tonight, weirdly, as well.
Which is interesting because we're on a much more stable connection, so it's very strange. That could be the...
Well, you say it's more stable.
Well,
yeah, because E-Time with a bit of lag, Uber with a bit of lag. We didn't have anywhere near this level of incidents with the Super Formula, which is even more interesting.
Yeah.
And that was on the 24-hour layout.
Yeah, true. All right, Moose. Have a good work shift. I was glad you're able to at least catch one of the races today, so I appreciate that. We'll be back again next week after this race. I'll be back again, well, tonight to review the races in depth, and then again next week is the final week of races.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a very good series, very tight series, but yeah, definitely some more lag tonight than what I think anyone was expecting, so yeah, don't know what caused that, considering you reckon you were on wireless last week and it seemed pretty alright.
And I went through, I changed it to a wired connection for this week and ran tests, and everything looks good. No congestion issues. It was running, we're at a gig per second, so it's and then the upload speeds are sitting at about 40 megabits per second, so looking good there too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's uploads from PlayStations is not always as accurate as it could be, but yeah, very interesting to say the least. But yeah, a couple of McLarens, not surprising seeing them out. We've got E-Time running around the Sylvia, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the rest of the field picks up here. The 458's not quite a strong car in this class as well, as we see Stratos showing us why it's going to be a very difficult turn one, giving a little wall tap.
And definitely the Macca is going to be one of the more popular choices due to the 8 times tire wear and 2 times fuel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So expect to see that as well from the 458 if anyone picks it, because mid-engine cars means you're saving those front tires quite a bit, which means, just that less weight at the front means a little bit more nimble. And it is going to mean that these tires last longer. Softs and hards are required, but the medium is the open choice, which makes it a little bit more interesting on the strategy call. Did you set the race conditions up that the racing hards and softs are mandatory?
Yes, I did. I'll double check as well. Let's check it real quick. So all tires are usable, hard and soft are mandatory.
Beautiful. We have got it set up correctly. Yes, it's always good to see. But yeah, only 650S's and Sylvia's. This is a Nissan versus McLaren. Sorry, there's a GDR in there as well.
That's true. Yeah, there is one.
There is one GT, which is going to make it interesting to say the least. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see how people are going to use the hards versus the soft tire, because as we know, softs are normally quicker, but they wear out a lot quicker, so it's a real change-up. I don't think anyone's going to be stopping for the medium tire. I don't think it offers enough performance benefit over a soft.
True, but it could be a difference over a hard. They might run one on hard, pit for mediums, and run mediums as long as they can. It's a 30-minute race, so there's plenty of time.
It is a 30-minute race, so there is plenty of time for the strategy calls. I've got a feeling we'll see more than one stop. just because of the fact that I think the softs are still going to be quicker over a stint. But saying that, these are very short laps because it is only the short track. See Etam getting it wrong at turn 1 after he acknowledged the be carefulness. A little ironic, but yes, watch out for turn 1. But very bold choice to pick the GTR from it's not Koshin, it's Pac-Man, I think. Considering it's a 4-wheel drive car. Very heavy at the front, great on acceleration, but it's gonna struggle with the tire wear. Expect that car to be stopping frequently or be running very long stints on the hards, which you don't want to do around here.
True.
T1 is a big mistake. I agree, Uber. I don't like this configuration purely because of T1. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of chaos. But hey, what's wrong with a little bit of chaos in life?
Well, this race will definitely have to pull out the best in people to be conservative and find their race line, not just for T1, but throughout. And I think right there, that uphill is where I think Pac-Man's going to find a lot of improvement with the GTR, with all the torque that it has coming up the hill.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely going to help him up the hill. And it's actually got quite good top end as well. But it's saying that for all the benefits you get, the McLaren just as good at top end, Sylvia just as good at top end. I say that Goblins picked a Jag.
Love to see it. You love to see it.
That is a bold call as well. That car was definitely one of the best ones. But yeah, to say the least. Jag very much the interesting choice here, as we've got McLarens, we've got Jaguars, we've got Nissans as well. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else decides to flop and maybe go for a Ferrari. That's probably the second best Group 4 car at the moment. See Etam getting it sideways in the Sylvia.
And we're going to get some music on here for the stream. And we're going to start qualification here.
Yeah, qualifying getting underway now. Say the least. And looks like we're going to have a 7-car grid. Pac-Man definitely sticking with the GDR. And it's all 650Ss for the top 3 in DR as well, which makes it interesting.
Thank you for the follow.
Absolutely. And Kiko, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the stream. We're just getting started here in qualifying. We're going to take a peek and see who starts us out. Koshian's the first one out of the pits.
Yep, in the Sylvia, it's going to be interesting. See what pace he's got in that. That car definitely the quickest in the current BOP settings for Group 4.
Yeah.
McLaren's probably the 3rd or 4th quickest overall. And Force Well Koshin running wide though at turn 2. Still trying to get used to this reverse configuration. But yeah, Pac-Man being bold in the GDR.
Uber is saying it's going to be very difficult coming out of the T1, out of the tunnel, as they go into this race with the lighting change. The sun coming right in your eyes as you're coming out.
Starting out in the day, transitioning towards the night, it'll get better the further on it goes into the night. But yeah, definitely expect some of these cars to struggle, or some of the drivers struggle with the lighting changes, depending on what their monitor settings are, or if they're like what I would be in this race, it'd be at a completely different time.
F-Type is strong coming up the hill.
Yeah, I think Pac-Man's just starting to show some of the weaknesses of the GDR being turbo. That Jag is naturally aspirated, I believe. So it's got a little bit more torque coming for it versus the twin turbos of the GDR. So I expect to see that Jag to actually have quite a good qualifying performance. Saying that, watch out for a little bit of wall riding down towards turn 1, because guess what? You run a little bit wide, you end up on that wall. Very hard to get back off it. So expect to see a couple of little wall taps down there.
And Boog's bringing up a good point that at least there is light this week.
Yes, exactly. There is actually headlights that people can use this week.
Last week we had at Spa we had a super formula vehicles that have no headlights, and it got basically pitch black to the drivers. We had to end up doing a sprint, 10-minute sprint to finish out the race.
Yep. That was a very interesting 10-minute sprint as well. I'll take P2 from it though, considering I couldn't see a darn thing in the first one either. I think I got worse off than a lot of the other drivers somehow. I've got to feel like there's random little glitches in this game hasn't quite sorted out yet. Thanks, Polyphony. The one thing we want to do. You won't let us do it.
Accurate.
Yeah, 1 minute 10's coming across for Uber. Uber's seeing the pace with a 10.2. And giving a little bit of a wall tap into turn 2 with, I think it's another 5-minute quality, so expect 2 or 3 laps coming in here for most of the drivers. Only a minute 10 on the out lap and minute 10 on the hot laps.
Now, qualifying with this is definitely interesting because you're trying to get a qualification at a good lap, and you're not trying to hit anybody so you ruin your time. But at the same time, you can definitely benefit from slipstreaming. So
yeah, that's the thing. It's all about picking your driver that you want to be behind. And at the moment, you don't want to be behind Goblin by the looks of it if you're Skeletal, because you're much quicker. Uber actually going for the reset, which is bold, so he's going to get a full tank of fuel as well. Also, this McLaren, you got to rev it at the right point. You got to change up probably just over halfway, anywhere from halfway to 60%, sort of your gear shift point for these McLarens. So that's the other thing the drivers will have to take advantage of and make use of, is the different car characteristics.
Yeah.
But I think Uber's just said,
I'm done.
I've got a good lap.
Second and that.
You're not getting anywhere near it.
Yep.
So Skeletor is probably the best one to challenge for it. Stratos, I think Stratos is also in the McLaren as well. So McLaren definitely quick enough to take this pole position, but Skeletor, he's had a shocker of a first corner on that outlap, so he's done. So Skeletor might be able to sneak up onto this front row. Look at that, he's up. Stratos is up. It's going to be an interesting one.
We'll keep an eye on Stratos to see how he ends up this lap.
Uber might politely request that he drops to the back of the field for this one, I think. It's not looking forward to turn 1. Turn 1's going to be interesting.
Oh, it's Stratos.
He was 17th up.
Oh, he definitely was.
Might still be able to get front row here.
Not paying attention to that. He's got to be not happy with that. He's going to be kicking himself. Oh, and he goes into the wall too. Unfortunate, man. Definitely could have been
damage
P2
on that first bit and has done. Goblin, though, gets in a decent lap with a 1:11.9. And I think that's going to be qualifying for this one. That will be due to track limits, Eta. There's some wacky track limits around here, some very strict track limits around here. You misspelt honor.
What?
Honor. Thank you very much.
Oh, maybe where you're from.
maybe from the rest of the world.
Well, if it was a good word, we wouldn't have to remake it, would we? I'm just saying, we had to.
You didn't remake the word. You just took a letter off it.
Just useless
Same
extra
with
letters.
Same with
favorite.
favorite. Yeah, that's another one. Favor as well. Yeah, there's very strict track limits here, to say the least. You didn't take off the extra letters in your, so just saying.
What's that?
You didn't take off the extra letters in your. Oh, CBD did join, you clown. What did you do?
I guess we'll have to set it up.
Yep, I think someone else said they may be joining as well, if I read chat, possibly.
Yeah,
But
softs and hards are mandatory. Mediums are optional. So that's up to you.
grab
Decide what to do.
that so you don't, so you know what the order supposedly is.
Were you able to grab it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and race, and we're going to reset that up.
Yeah, you can take off the qualifier and you can take off and set grid by host in one motion. Up. There we go. Very easy to scroll past it.
That's all right. Yeah, we want to choose tracks that people need to learn, become familiar with. I mean, it's part of the game. Want to push ourselves to become better in every way. We can't just know 3 tracks and run those only. So definitely happy to see the variety of tracks here. But here's let me set the grid here. Starting grid. After everyone ticks in.
Everyone ticks in, and then we'll be good to set it. CBD deciding to do the Uber strat of starting at the back, and he's picked the 458, which I'm not surprised at. Surprised more people haven't gone for it.
He's definitely on brand.
Well, actually, this is I was going to say, this is very.
This is the worst.
He's back.
I'm back. I don't know what
Hashtag
happened.
pro streamer.
Everything looked fine. I checked my router, I checked my modem. All the lights are green to go. So, but I lost connection from all my devices. So clearly my network is having issues, which is exactly what you'd ask for in a situation like this, right? Goodness.
It wasn't just PlayStation, it was everything.
Lobby is going back up here. I apologize for the inconvenience, y'all. Thank you for your patience.
Who knows? Maybe it'll let me back in now.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe. I can do proper commentary.
Proper. Creating a room now. Stream, will we back up? Are you guys able to hear me? See me? I mean, at least hear me?
Well, I can see you. I can hear you through Discord. I don't know if it sounds up. Yeah, I was going to say, I think the Wi-Fi connection's better, Kicks.
I would switch to it at this point, but I don't want to disconnect again, so we're going to... If for any reason the server goes down, we'll switch back to Wi-Fi, but right now everything's looking good. I don't see any issues.
Well, won't let me back in again, so I guess back into the wait for you to share screen again. Yay.
There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank you for your patience. Some things when you're streaming and when you're holding events are out of your control. You can test as much as you want, but you're kind of dependent on some things, and the internet's definitely one of those.
Yep. I know that way too well. But yeah, as we just wait for everyone to rejoin. But yeah, your grid order for this one is very, very spicy, to say the least. Once everyone's in, we will have Uber followed by Skeletor, Stratos, and Goblin are your front 2 rows. Row 3 is going to be Etam alongside Koshin. Then Pac-Man, unable to find any pace in the GDR, had the opportunity to cheekily swap to something else, but has not taken it. CBD will be P number 8 in this one, as we're just waiting on someone.
Pac-Man living and
Here we
dying
go,
by the
Coach.
GTR.
Living and, yes, very much dying. 5 seconds off the pace in the GTR. Maybe that's due to track knowledge. Maybe that's due to the fact the GDR has been significantly nerfed.
All right, that's everyone. Let me go ahead and set the grid here. So up top we have
Uber. Actually, just drop CBD to the bottom. It might be quicker. And then I'll tell you what changes need to be made.
P2.
Potion ahead of Pac-Man, and then I think we're sorted.
All right, so
you didn't swap Koshin and Pac-Man.
I did.
You're in the same spot.
Did I?
Koshin ahead of Pac-Man.
There we go. Okay.
Yep. And that is the correct order.
Here we go. Into the final round for today, or the final race for today, race B. And we're going to start right now.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So hopefully everyone is right and ready. But yeah, mediums and hards. Sorry, mediums are optional. Hards and soft required. So you got to be hard at some point. You got to be soft at some point. So you're going to finish at some point. Drop back down. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people do is if they warm up from the soft to the hard, or if they're going to go straight and hard, get off that tire straight away. That'd be my strat. Just get the hard out of the way, get it done, and then you can just go soft, 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 soft. But yeah. Here we go. And they're underway. So we see Kicks looking at the back of the field. But yeah, as you see, I think that's straight. So it's going up. Yes, Skeletor going up the trying to go up the inside. E-Tom's had a great start. He's up into P3 already, but he's off the road. Someone's off the road. Now E-Tom's dropped back down to P6. There's Goblin going wide at turn number 2. Strato's all over the road on turn number 3, so he's going to try and gather that back up. And the McLaren, Goblin dropping back down to 7th. E-Tom dropping back down to P8. Pac-Man, he's moved up to P5, so maybe he's proving that maybe that GDR's got a bit of race pace. As a little bit of ghosting going through here as well. Interesting to see what caused that. But Goblin's now trying to recover up to P5. Uber running away with the front of the field at the moment. He's got Skeletor for close company, and CBD, he's gone from last to 3rd in this space of a lap. So this is going to really spice it up. Be interesting to see what tires everyone's on for this one. But yeah. I couldn't jump in, Staley. I'm not even in the lobby. So apparently the wide connection meant I couldn't join. So yeah. And saying that, the wide connection seems to be not the best one.
And we'll be giving commentator points to him at the end of these races.
Yeah, I get commentary points. It's the only way to compensate. No, Uber running away with it though, and Skeletor and CBD. This is a little good scrap up, looks like, up the front for 3rd. At the moment, watching Goblin try and maintain 4th position. He's got Koshin just behind. But yeah, CBD, he's only 1 second off, actually 2 seconds off the lead, 1 second off Uber, so he's going to try and close back up. But yeah, tire compound's going to be interesting. Softs and the hards required. And you see what everyone has started on. Looks like the front of the field might have started on the soft tire. They're just running away with it at this point. I don't think anyone would have been bold enough to pick up the medium tire.
Let's find out. So starting on hards.
Hards CBD. Ooh, Skeletor might be on. Skeletor's definitely on the softs. What's Uber on? This is the big question. Leaders on hards. That is concerning if you are Skeletor and you're seeing Uber pull away from you on a harder tire. Ugh. But yeah, Uber with the Skeletor just breaking the fast lap. First lap he's done the 10.9 there. But yeah, Uber very much in control of this on the hard tire. He is teamless apparently. HRG have dropped him, so if anyone wants to pick him up for a team, feel free. Very quick driver from the man from Malta.
Yep, and this race is 30 minutes. We're only about 3 minutes in, so we have quite a bit of time left in this race.
Yeah. So yeah, looking at probably somewhere in the 20 a lap number here, just the fact these are a minute 10 a lap. Plus we have to make at least one stop as well, so at least 20 laps will be done here by the field. Somewhere probably about 25, I reckon, based on the pace of the leaders. Further back though, expect a couple of lapped cars to come through. Stratos has fallen quite a way back here. He started P number 3, I believe. So he'll be
back to a great comeback too, back from P8 to P5 now.
Yeah, Etam, after dropping to the back of the field on that first lap, has now come back up. And saying that on the soft tyre, I've got a feeling Stratos on the hards are struggling a little bit, to say the least. But yes, it looks like these, as I said, this is why you probably didn't want to pick the Sylvia. Look at that front right compared to all the McLarens in the field, and probably that 458 as well. The front right is absolutely dying here. You see, he's using all the track and then some. All the track and then some there to the wall.
With a pen too.
He's got a half second for it. Yep. Very strict track limits here.
He's like a peek further back, hit Pac-Man. He's about a second ahead of Kosian. Kosian pushing up, finding a
Kosian will have much better tires though.
Very true. Pac-Man looking at a very rough front right tire.
Yeah, this is why four-wheel drive cars have gone out of fashion in Group 4, at least in the endurance races. He's picked up a half second there, cutting the corner down the bottom of the hill here.
He's running with traction control on as well.
But yeah, even more of a bold choice. It's actually quite hard to spin these cars without traction control. Even the rear-wheel drive cars, but especially these four-wheel drive cars where you still have the front tires pulling that front end and reducing the understeer. Means that you're actually very hard to spin these cars around especially on these softer compounded tires. But it looks like Pac-Man probably going to be stopping next time by to get some fresh boots. But yeah, probably is regretting the choice of the GDR now. Seeing Koshin all over the back of him. 3/10 is the gap between these guys.
See, he takes him into the corner. He should be able to take him. Pac-Man having to brake very hard. Oh! Causing Kosian to brake extremely hard to get around Pac-Man. He's having a difficult time. Pac-Man, that wide body on that GTR.
Yeah, very, very big car compared to the Sylvia. But out the inside, that is a clean, well, looked like a clean pass. Who knows, lag could be a thing. We've seen too many net issues tonight. But anyway, Pac-Man's going to drop back down to last. I think he was going to lose the spot anyway, serving that penalty. As we see, Stratos has moved up into P5 after Etam served his penalty. So this could be an interesting little battle. But anyway, look at that Etam. Look at that soft. It's dead.
He's going to have to pit here, yeah?
Do you keep going? Because the other three tires are fine. Because that soft isn't going to get any more dead. That right front. So I think that's the strategy Etam's gone for.
He's just going to run it.
Yep. The tire's already dead. It doesn't get more dead. So you might as well just use a bit of life on that right rear as well. Use a little bit of power. Rotate the corner.
I think pulled a 112.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Skeletor's actually in the lead here.
Stratos going off in the T1.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult corner to get right.
His tires are gone too on the front right.
Yep. Oh. Interesting to know if he's on a controller or not, and it looks like he may be. This is some very jerky movements of the G-force meter. Yeah, very aggressive on the turn, and so very well could be on a controller. Stratos, which does not help with the tyre wear, speaking from experience. But you see what the leaders are doing in terms of tyres. CVD, the hards are fine. At least what the pace is there as well. Uber 2.3 seconds up the road. Also on the hard tyre. Look at that. Slightly more tyre wear from Uber. He is very aggressive on his tyres, even on a wheel. But yeah, Skeletor is the first tyre on softs, running a little bit wide at T1 there.
Doing really well on his softs.
Yeah, he's got the tyres running, so very well could be looking at a two-stop here for Skeletor if he wants to take another set of softs.
We have our first pit.
Goblin. Yeah, Goblin trying to get off. What's he coming out on?
Hards.
Started on the softs at the Jag, done the hards, done the softs, and now he's on hards. So now he can sort of pick and choose when he comes back in. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what strategy he goes for now.
Oh, Pac-Man pitting now too.
Yeah, Pac-Man, that's front right was dead. I don't think Pac-Man's going to be in contention for this one. The GDR just going to kill those tires very quickly. Very much going to be a serial killer of tires, that GDR is tonight, to say the least. Yeah, as we can see, Uber and CBD not particularly far off the lead here. See, that's Pac-Man coming out now. We're going to see what Pac-Man can do.
Oof. Turns in too early. Picked up a 3-second pen, likely from the pit.
Pit lanes. Yeah, that'll be a pit lane penalty. 3 seconds. Very hard to pick up 3 seconds before. That's not including the pit lane. To say the least. But yeah, some great driving from Uber. Uber's now back onto the back of Skeletor. So that hard tyre looking like it's a little bit quicker after the 8th lap. Just being at the fact that it's got life in it. Question is, how long do you hold out if you're Skeletor? Because guess what? That tyre isn't going to get any more dead. So you sort of know what pace you're going to run. And if you're running just quick enough... I didn't even see if Skeletor's actually shifting at the right point in this McLaren as well. And probably, yeah, very late from Skeletor. In fact, that might be a 3-second.
That might be, unfortunately.
That looked like you clipped the line. Skeletor, you need to shift earlier. Shift earlier. You want to shift it like just after halfway.
Yeah, this is Group 4. You want to shift at halfway. Group 3.
You want to shift.
You want to shift
really early.
Yeah.
Get the shift on. You get those button mashing going. Get that shifter going. You know. Trust me, all the power's in the mid range here. And yep, picked up a 3-second. Just clipped the white line.
Oh, cannot be happy with that. He's gonna have to get that out of his head and not mauled, because otherwise he's gonna ruin the rest of his race.
Yeah, he's gonna lose the spot to Etam, who has box, but saying that he's been quicker than Etam for pretty much the whole race. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Etam's still going on this dead soft tire, still yet to make a stop. Now, I think Skeletor came back out on softs, possibly.
Yes.
Yes, so he's still got another stop to make. Uber and CBD now just leading the way. They'll have about a 20-second lead over these guys, but these guys will... Oh, sorry, literally Skeletor will come back at them with the fresh tires. Whether Etam's really struggling on those soft tires now. I think he might be coming in.
He's going to have to come in this one. He's losing too much time per lap at this point. He's definitely going to benefit from switching to hards or mediums, or maybe...
I'd definitely swap to hards personally. I think the hard tire there's not a lot, there's not a huge amount of difference. Yeah, there's Etam in. I don't think he got anywhere near the white line, so it'll be interesting what tire Etam goes on. Did 11 minutes on the soft, has to do at least sometimes on the hard. But yeah, Uber very much chewing that front right on the hard, so it could be interesting to see what he does.
Let's take a peek at Uber and see where he's sitting at as he comfortably comes into close race, actually. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
As you can see, DVD's got much fresher tires on that very quick flick through, so he's got the advantage on Uber. Look at that. About 20% extra tires. Looking up the inside.
Going for the inside. Whoa. Cutting it close.
Extra grip to help him.
Oh, great racing side by side, leaving plenty of space.
Yeah. Uber carrying the speed around the corner will have better momentum on the exit here, and he's going to be able to maintain the lead into turn 1. Now the Ferrari and the McLaren, very different on the way they rev. McLaren obviously revving much earlier. These guys are just tapping the brakes slightly just to get the car turned in for turn 1. Uber, that might be a half second. And a great little move by CBD up the inside. Just kept the car nicely under control. But now Uber all over the back of him.
Uber not used to this. He's used to being about, double digits ahead of everyone. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this race runs with Uber and his headspace.
This is going to be a great little scrap between Uber and CBD here. Didn't get to see it race 1 due to chaos at turn 1, but very well might get to see it here. But yeah, these hards are not even making half distance for Uber, which is going to be really interesting. When it comes to swapping over to the soft tires, we see Koshin comes into the pits, but this is a great little battle between these two. You see Zach Koshin exiting. No, it's Koshin just coming in. He's coming in off the hard. He's onto the soft tire, so that's his compulsory tires change out of the way. These two are the first. Actually, these two are the only two to not have boxed yet.
Skeletor still holding fastest lap with a 1:10.1.
1:10.1 on that soft tire, slightly lighter fuel, be helping playing into his advantage. But yeah, these guys are yet to use the soft tire, so it'll be interesting to see what times they can get to, because they'll have a very, very light car relative to the rest of the field when they hop on their softs. But saying that, CBD looks like he's going to keep going here. If I'm Uber, I just sort of try and stick with him as best I can, even on dead tires. Because even if the undercut's not going to help too much here if you have to stop again.
Stratos unfortunately leaving the race. Not sure what happened there.
Probably, I'm just going to assume an internet connection or life got in the way. But yeah, Uber. It'd be interesting to see how much he gets over the back of him. I don't think Stratos was struggling at turn 1 this track as well. CBD taking quite a tight line there through the final corner. And Uber now getting on the throttle. See, he's got that shift point. You can probably rev it a touch later.
Confirmation for Stratos that he got a net hiccup in chat. Yeah,
mechanical failure there for Stratos, forcing him to retire. As we see, saying that this is playing an advantage to Uber, because now CBD's sort of taking these weird, wacky lines now, just trying to figure out where's Uber going to be. So remember, lag. You don't have to account for lag in this road. He's not trying to be defensive. Say that Uber's picked up a half second. That's going to help CBD out. Question is, does Uber try and force a move now so that he stays in this sort of similar spot once he serves that penalty, while the tire's still got a bit of life left in it? As he comes up the hill into the final sector. Yeah, for reference, Uber's fastest lap on the hard tires is a 10.6. So, and the softs can definitely send it a bit more than 0.5 of a second of a lap quicker. But Skeletor definitely will probably resume the lead once these guys rotate through. Very briefly, mind you, because he's still got to stop again to grab that hard tire. Yeah, Uber with the half second. Gets it stopped. Uber sends it up to the inside. Backs out of it.
Ooh, little touch. Not enough, though. Not enough touch to really make a difference. But
CBD keeps control of it. No positions are swapped, even though there's a little bit of paint swapped. But yeah, keeps control of it. And now this is where Uber's going to drop back to probably about a second adrift now. Serving at half-second penalty. Now gets a great exit out of that hairpin. See, now he's still only 6/10 adrift, so he's gaining back on CBD.
Let's take a look back a little bit back further here. We got a big gap, 30-second gap, because I think these boys are still.
I wonder if Etom's pitted again, because yeah,
he's on the house. Yes.
Actually, no. He did pull out of the way. Skeletor caught back up to him. Actually, he made that mistake up the hill. But yeah, he's on the hards now. Goblin, I think, to use both tire compounds as well as Koshin and Pac-Man. So it'll be interesting to see how those boys deal with the remaining 13 minutes here. But yeah, very much you can hear the lag with all the tire squealing. Don't necessarily think that's on Etam, based on the fact we've had the stream go down.
No comment.
See, even a little bit from Goblin as well, not as bad. Mainly through the corners, you see a little bit of tire squealing. Yeah, a little bit of inconsistency at times. So now you very much got understeer there in the Jag. Yeah. But yeah, listen to the sound.
Oh, gorgeous.
Goblin, I know, been very bold with the car choices in terms of what they are racing, but they have sound so good, to say the least.
Thank you.
We're approaching 20 minutes here. The
Yeah,
field looks.
it's 18 minutes gone, so we've probably got about 10 laps to go, roughly.
And thank you,
So-
El Berubro. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in.
But yeah, it's very, very fast. Interesting to see it. Potion a lap down here. He's got Uber's picked up another half second.
Oh no.
I think Uber's tires are very much dead. You see Skeletor coming in again. That soft tire not lasting particularly long. Interesting that it didn't last as long on the second stint because lighter fuel normally means better tire wear. But Uber picking up another half second. But in saying that, Uber's definitely the quickest of the drivers at the moment if you can find some consistency.
Hey, he's definitely not
But yeah,
used to this kind
Pac-Man.
of racing right now with CBD in the race. He's definitely giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, Uber's always always struggled a little bit more with tyre wear, and the fact now that there's someone on a similar level of pace just means that he actually has to try and make this survive. Yeah, Pac-Man 2 laps down now at this stage. Unfortunately for them in the GDR, definitely not the choice. Probably regretting the car choice here, unable to find any sort of pace in the GDR, and also just the tyres just keep being killed. Saying that CBD still got a bit of tyre life left, and he's got a 2.5 second lead will be by the time this penalty is served. Looking in a very good spot.
Very good spot. They have, what,
Probably
10
good
minutes
spot.
left, too, so he's definitely going to be able to hit. I think he's going to go straight to softs.
Yeah, it will be a one stop for both CBD and Uber's. I think Uber's going to follow CBD in and not offer him any benefit of the undercut because Uber's tyres, I think, are dead. He's now 3 seconds adrift. Pac-Man did the medium switch.
Medium? Oh, first one to do the medium switch.
First one to do the medium switch, just maybe a bit of novelty. A little bit out of this one, unfortunately.
Maybe he's not finding as much durability in those softs, and he decides to go with the mediums to finish the race.
Yeah, Goblin in as well off the hard tyre. But yeah, CBD, he's got through. Actually, Uber going for the undercut here.
Interesting.
He's got to make these last about. Actually, it might be about 8-9 laps. So it'd be interesting to see. Did he put the right tire compound on though?
We're going to find out. Yep.
That is the question.
There he goes.
He has.
And he off away.
He hasn't done what he did in the Bib and Dribble lead, where he actually in the Ford version of this track, where he forgot to swap to a different compound of tire.
Oh no.
Kosher picking up a 3-second pit lane penalty that'll be served. Won't be much of a contest for Uber. But yeah, 25 seconds is the gap. It was about 3 seconds coming into the pits, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly Uber can close up. CBD might be boxing this lap just to try and minimize that undercut. You see already gaining half a second just through those couple of turns there. So yeah, CBD will be definitely looking to box now. And in fact, that CBD in.
This is going to be a close one coming out of the pits. Very close.
It's probably going to be about 2 seconds in favor of CBD, but Uber will have the momentum on exit. So expect him to close right back up. Fuel not being an issue here, so tires have been changed. Where is Uber?
There he. No.
No, that's not Uber. It's Goblin. Uber has got the momentum, as I said, about 2
Right
second
on him.
gap.
Yep. You were right on the money with that. Absolutely 2 second gap.
2 second gap as he came out of the pits and has the momentum down to turn 1, so that's why it's dipped down to 1.6 seconds. But yeah, warm tyres now for Uber. Uber's got warmer tyres than CBD, and he has been he's a very quick driver, as we know, and he has already closed up to 1 point. Actually, no, he's just had a bad run out on the exit of that corner, so he's fallen back a little bit. But CBD's sending it deep into that hairpin. Uber's allows Uber just to get a bit of better braking zone, better acceleration. He's going to try and reel him in now.
And Uber seeing
these guys are going to be pushing.
See a serious tire wear already after 1 lap.
Yeah, well, this is Uber's second lap, so yeah, very much unsurprisingly that there's going to be some tire wear. It is 8 times, if I recall.
Yep.
So yeah, Uber, he's going to be pushing. Expect these guys to be doing qualifying laps till the end of this one. See, 1.5 is the gap now, so he's gained 2 seconds on that lap. Oh, sorry, 0.2 of a second, I should say. But CBD getting the advantage of being sitting behind Goblin in the slip.
Flashing his lights to give him a heads up. He's got a blue flag. This Goblin tries to go
running a
wide,
ton
but
wide. So it's going to allow CBD. This might. Goblin lets him go, but that's cost him. That has cost him. Gap drops down to 1.3 in closing.
and definitely in that corner, it's kind of a hard place to pass, anyways. Even if someone is giving it up to you, so.
Yeah, so that's helped Uber out a little bit. Looks like Uber's got past Goblin as well, very quickly too. So
it's a good thing you're falling asleep here. Yeah, but good thing you're falling asleep here, Etom. The sun's going down, so that
sun's
should.
going down. Get quicker. Yeah. Anyway, CBD 1.1, just over 1.1 is the gap. This is fluctuating depending on where they are in the corner. They're getting their corner speed very differently. CBD going faster on the way in, Uber going for the exits. But yeah, CBD able to just push. He knows he's got slightly better tyre wear. Did very briefly have the fastest lap as Uber goes into the 9.4.
Lights come on in the tunnel. We're starting to see the shift. So when the sun goes down, it goes down quick.
Yeah, lights are staying on here. They're not just coming on through the tunnel now. So very much it's becoming dark. We're going to see who deals with the lack of visibility better. But in saying that, this is closing up Uber. The question is, can Uber catch him before the tires die?
Let's take a look at the back of the track here. We have Pac-Man, unfortunately 3.5 minutes behind pace, but still finishing out the race. Gotta admire that. Doesn't quit, keeps it in there.
Exactly. Koshin not too far ahead. Yeah, that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Koshin a little bit ahead. He's actually within 7 seconds of Goblin though, so Goblin also a lap down. But yeah, Koshin's going to try and gobble these nuts up on him, close that gap. Only 7 seconds. And closing here, Etam slightly further ahead at this stage.
Slightly.
Yeah, 30 seconds up the road.
Yep.
The leaders are closing up as they've just gone through turn 1. Where's Etam versus Skeletal though? I think those boys might be quite close on the track. No,
another 20 seconds, yep. Etam did catch up, cut that lead down.
that Skeletal's in!
No.
Skeletal's in! We're gonna have a battle!
Oh, we're gonna have another battle here between 3rd and 4th. Etam will likely take 3rd.
It'll be a very quick battle because Etam's got no tyre and Skeletal out on softs. So, yeah, Etam will very briefly take P3.
No.
He should carry it around.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Briefly, it's going into this corner. Etam is going to go too fast. He's braking already. Here he goes. He's going for the drift.
He's going to come for the car back. Now Skeletal's just able to get turned in and back on the throttle even quicker. But yes, that battle for P3 is, well, done. To say the least. So yeah, anyway, the leaders though, they're within a second. 1.3, sorry. Uber just, it looked like within a second, but no, Uber's dropped back just a little bit just through those last couple of corners. But
CBD is going to run away with this at this point, yeah, because he's got plenty of tire left for this race. So we're going to see as he comes into these last 3 minutes, those tires are going to last him plenty.
About 3 laps to go here, to say the least. But yeah, what's Uber's tyre wear like? It's very. He's got 1 lap older tyres, but we've seen him struggle on tyre wear so far. Uber trying to, with a little bit of flashing of the lights, bit of gamesmanship. Uber might have some dead tyres. He just dropped back a little bit there.
Maybe, yeah. It looks like his tires are falling off, but he should have a couple more laps in him. So, and brake balance is not on.
Daily is the connection. I think Kings is trying to output to 5 different devices. Plus, all this the server hosting is maybe struggling a little bit.
I think screen sharing is a little difficult, but you know, it's still working. Also, I think I had your voice up too loud and it was clipping, so I fixed that.
Yeah, so I think there's very much as brake bias on go, but Uber's killed his tires. He only boxed on what lap?
Yeah,
90?
he is running those.
Yeah, he had to make him last another 2 laps, so he is absolutely chewed through him. So this very well might go the way of the central business district. By the looks of it, he's better tyre wear. Not take fastest lap though, by the looks of it. So it might push a little bit harder here than the CBD.
Keep going.
Yeah, I don't see any additional.
No. I don't get here twice. I don't think you'll hear it twice.
Oh, maybe it's part of the game because we're in a. Or is your mic on in the game?
No, it's muted.
Okay, well then yeah, no, it should be fine. Not sure. I'll have to review that later.
Yeah. I was echoing for the whole train. So.
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Nah, it's probably a hog in all the ears. Picking up random noise. One ear's processing it a bit quicker than the other. That's what it'll be.
A little bit of there with Pac-Man causing a little bit of a stumble with Super Uba coming through there.
I don't think I'm going to make too much of a reference. Uber's right, it's just dead.
Just gone.
CBD has got complete all the tire in the world.
Yeah, it's got plenty. The CBD's going to run with this and finishes first.
That was it.
Etom taking fourth.
He's on to take fourth. Skeletor looks like he's guaranteed 3 GT2. Pac-Man P5 going away. I'll be lit by the list of it. Coach pushing out the
Oh no, Goblin's spinning out. He's going reverse.
It's showboating again.
No, this is Goblin. No, is he showboating or is...
He's showboating.
No.
He's gonna lose the ball anyway.
He lost it. Yeah. He's goofing. He's goofing. He wants to finish in reverse.
Yeah. Takes up victory.
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's definitely not my mic. It's probably the connection between Kixie trying to out it.
No, I think it might be OBS's source. I know in the past I've had issues with that audio output capture, so
that would be it. But yeah, I'm not pretty. I know my mic's definitely not an issue.
Let me go ahead and say the replay before I forget.
Yep.
Let everybody know here.
We're gonna have review.
Results.
That's this one.
Will be reviewed. I'm going to take a peek at the first race, see what happened there, but the rest of the results will be this evening.
Yeah, I don't think there was too much in the way of performance altering results for the first and the second one, but the first one is... I think we'll have a quick look before we have a deep dive, so hopefully everyone saves the replay, so I think there might be a few that you shared. But yeah, thanks to everyone for round 2. Hopefully I'll get it back into next week. But yeah, it's been a great sort of round 2 here. Round 3 will be similar time next Monday. Starting at, to me, I think it's what, 2 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
PDT or something?
It'd be, well, next week will be the same time. So first qualification for the race A will take place at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern. The lobby will open 45 minutes prior to the race. prior to qualification, I should say. So at 12:45, maybe even a little bit sooner, depending on my ability to get everything in order.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
appreciate you all. We'll see you guys next week or tonight if you want to tune in tonight to see the results. Oh, hang on. My computer, I think it's just because it's getting hotter lately. My computer's struggling. So I'll have to find a cooling mechanism as well. If it's not one thing, it's another. But I appreciate a big shout out to JJ. He's going to get some stream points for the race, even though he didn't get to participate, just based on his ability to commentate majority of the race today.
It's what you got me in here for, Kiggs. So
Absolutely. But definitely holding it down. I feel bad you couldn't race, but I definitely appreciate everyone that did participate today. We didn't see any donations today thus far, but there's always the rest of the week or rest of the month. We have 11 days left, and we're already 30% of goal. So if you can manage, we appreciate the donations towards AFSP. Otherwise, we're going to close up shop after this. We're going to take a peek at the race A for this week 2 and take a quick look. We're just going to take a peek at the launch because there's a bit of controversy there at the launch of race A.
yeah, turn 1 and turn 2. Turn 1 and turn 4
absolutely
technically were spicy to say the least. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing a very brief look, but I've got a feeling that this is going to be reviewed by many a person, and everyone's going to come up with their own opinion, and no one's going to agree with the result.
We're going to take it from each person's perspective real quick. We're going to take a look at T1 here.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we're going to see CBD get sent, reset, and then
Etom with a launch with that battery.
No.
Okay, here we go into T1. Oh, already. I think it was yesterday.
I think there's already been contact, actually, by this point. Because there's already smoke. Alright, Etom, almost like he jumped the start. It was such that good of a launch.
Really great launch. I mean, he was right on it.
But yeah, the old hybrid system.
Right here. Let's take a peek.
Nope. Moose is going to be clobbered in about half a second.
He's braking, but man, yeah, he's
misjudged that.
Let's get out and take a look real quick. He's about to smash into him. There's no doubt about it. Let's take a look at the rest of the race here. Pretty well spaced out.
Do you remember that? Yeah, you remember that old clip where it was like stop partway through, just before disaster, it would just stop and do like the old sort of grayscale thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I can see.
And there's the first hit by yesterday.
First hit.
Just a late breaking point.
Gives a little bit of a love tap to Moose. I don't think it affects Moose too much here.
But it definitely sent him over to Stratos.
And then we've now got 3 wide. Yay. So.
Oof. And then Uba hitting him in the back too and launching him into CBD and Stratos. I think Skeletor.
Did he? Was that contact or was that lag tech? That's the query.
That's hard to tell. Let's take a peek.
Have a look at Uba. Uba also getting a great launch as well.
Yep.
Uber got it was lag tag, but Uber got a little touch from, I think it's Koshin in the old Nissan.
Yep. No, it was Pac-Man.
Sorry, Pac-Man in the old Nissan, sorry.
Pac-Man hitting him.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like he hit him square on, though. Looks like he was slightly left when the contact came through, so it looks like there's a bit of lag. And then yesterday, getting the lag from Uber, and then it's just all kicked off.
Yeah, so... And then yesterday, losing all momentum, getting a complete stop at this point. I mean, he's completely stopped. So that's 1, 2, 3. Man, look at the clipping here. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I don't think the car's supposed to look like that.
No, I'm no expert.
I mean, that's not a bad place for a hood scoop, but I don't think that's where it goes.
Yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say it looks like there's a lot of lag contact
Let me back out. I mean
as
to do
well.
that.
But yeah, well, what we can say is that I think yesterday might be in a small amount of trouble, but I don't think it's going to affect the results too much.
Yesterday, unfortunately, he's definitely going to have to get a pen, and so is Pac-Man for these hits. My question is, what happened up front? Hang on a minute, because we got so confused up here. Let's see.
So this is where Moose just gets the little bit of contact from yesterday. You can see him
Hits him.
He now gets adjusted into that gap and gets reset here. Then CBD and
Yep.
Stratos both getting collected by the lag tap from Uber from Pac-Man, and that's sort of what set the resets off.
Yeah, we're unfortunately going to have to give 2 penalties out. Hefty one to yesterday, unfortunately, for that contact. It knocked out several drivers, and then another one for Pac-Man.
Cheers to the racing, CBD. Good result.
Yeah, CBD. Great dude.
But yeah, I don't know. I think you're gonna have to look further back.
Well, where was his breaking point? Yesterday's breaking point. I think he broke super late.
I was gonna say I don't think. I'm trying to think if it's going to be further back to see if there's actually a second penalty that needs to be handed out to anyone
there'll definitely be.
Definitely.
Yesterday's going to get one, and then Pac-Man also gets one. So
I don't think he actually made contact with Uber.
Pac-Man?
So if we have a look, if we have a look on board here,
ooh, I'll go.
It's hard to tell because he does dart left.
Let's watch it at full speed here. Yeah, because you could see Uber leap forward.
Definitely lag between. Because you can see it's a bit like last week at Spa. When the contact gets registered, he's not alongside. Oh, sorry, he's not behind.
So he's hit him by that point. I could see the car jumping forward. Yeah, there was some contact there because this is already two frames ahead of where he hit him.
But but the lag doesn't get the hit doesn't get registered. So, but you're gonna have to wait for Pac-Man's POV if it comes through. Just because sometimes you don't hit people on your end, or you don't feel the hit, and then lag comes through. Unfortunately, I've had that happen a few times. But yeah, it was a great launch by Pac-Man, and then the fact he's in a Group C meant the manual shifts just.
Yeah, you can see he hit him there.
Yeah,
at full speed, it's easier to tell.
I think this view probably a bit better as well. I think
he broke really
he was getting
late.
Caught up into that. I don't think you don't have to give him the penalty for Uber, because I think he's hitting everyone else anyway.
Yeah.
So
where did he break? What was his break point? I want to see. I keep missing it.
Yeah, these Group C cars are very old.
Yeah, use the tag Night Run, and I can pull up your clips and watch them. If you have your saved replay, save them online with the tag Night Run. Right there. That's where he started applying the brakes.
Yeah, I think the older car doesn't help.
No.
I've got a feeling if you're in a more modern car, it'd be all right.
Yep.
But yeah, the Group C was definitely not the car to pick for this race.
Let's see.
It's a very odd choices from Pac-Man.
For example, these newer cars.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Uber broke at a similar point.
Whew.
That is a launch.
Using all the battery there on the launch.
Using all the track as well.
And see, he's braked at this point. Yesterday, braking very late. He's not even hang on. He's not braking yet. He started braking.
He's just started braking.
That's unfortunate. That's well past. And these boys started braking late too. And you could tell because they go wide in their turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, CBD and Stratos getting caught up in that, unfortunately. This is only turn 1. This is only turn 1.
Can I give them an unpenalty? Take time off their time?
Unfortunately, that's kind of hard
This
to
is
do.
my race.
This is...
I'm going to let this marinate here. Ooh, and then Pac-Man. Whoa.
That is movement under brakes.
Man, that was a very aggressive stop.
This might be another set of penalties for Pac-Man. Because starts left and then moves. As you see, he moves right in front of... Right, yeah, doesn't hold his line under brakes, and then Skeletor.
CBD going
Skeletor
all the way
might have been a
through.
bit late anyway, but I think, yeah, there's definitely some movement under braking from Pac-Man, and that's why CBD is dropped to the back of the field for this one. But yeah, you see CBD and Goblin holding their line here, and then...
Did he get reset? No. Oh, he did get reset. Dang. Let's go take a look at Skeletor and see what happened here, because I don't... There's not much he could have done. He hit the brakes so hard, dude. He hit the brakes so hard. Pac-Man, unfortunately, with no... I don't think he did practice at all. I'm not sure...
I think you need... Yeah, well, if you pick the Group C car, probably not. If you rewind it and just look from the forward view of Skeletor, you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of the movement under brakes here. This is what you don't do into a braking zone.
Let's watch from the beginning here.
Jump forward a couple. So into the second chicane.
Watch his T1.
Yeah, this is all good. T1.
He takes a little action here.
Somehow he gets away with that pretty alright for T1. In fact, it might have been quicker to get reset here, but you watch. Pac-Man picking up 5 seconds for the collision, I believe.
And then Nissan's definitely got the speed, but it just I think he's used to the...
And then watch here. Kicks up, moves across. Yeah. That is movement under braking.
Yeah.
That is going to be another...
That's definitely another pen.
Yeah, hard to tell if Skeletor would have... Yeah, hard to tell because obviously the movement under brakes. But yeah, that's another pen for Pac-Man.
Yep.
Pretty much drove into the gap up the inside, perfectly fine. And then just as he starts to brake, drifts across in front of Skeletor. And that means he loses all his downforce.
Yep.
So that, I think, sums that up from... P1, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that's going to end the stream here for now. We're going to do. I'm going to do a more of a deep dive tonight on my stream and hand out and notify everybody of the final results after the penalties are handed out. Appreciate everyone's willingness to jump in here and race for charity. Definitely going to have to go over a whole speech beforehand next week because we want to make sure we don't have another incident of T1 like we had this week on Monza. But
let's have a look. What do we got next week? Should you know this off the top of your head?
Yes, so next week we have karts at Nürburgring.
It's
going to be the sprint layout. Yeah, it's going to be the sprint layout.
It's going to be fun and chaotic.
Oh, it's going to be.
And then we've also, then we got Tokyo Expressway South, one of my favorite tracks. That's a very nice. That's a very fun track as well with the pit lane halfway through the lap.
Yep. And the Tokyo Expressway will be interesting. Yeah, Group 2. So it'll be quite the change in pace between race A and race B next week. So
very much so.
Yep. So, and I mentioned this before, but all the subs that I've received this month, I'm going to be donating those to AFP as well. So I appreciate the subs, but it definitely helps to donate better than sub at this point. So feel free to donate instead of sub. Twitch gets a huge portion of that money donation. They take very, very little, if anything. I don't think they take anything because it's going straight to charity. So Thank you so much for your time, guys. We'll see you later tonight with the final results. And until next time, take care.